It's Mr. Informal. Today is Dragon Ball Super episode 54 review. This episode is informative in terms of episode and story mode. But anyways, quick recap. Basically, the first thing we see is Trunks floating on water, mentally training himself between him and Black Goku, and so he lost mentally the mental fight, and so we quickly see him struggling. Not only that, he suddenly realized that he's not strong enough to fight Black Goku. Not only that, you can see the mental struggles inside of him that keeps bothering him for a long time, or until Black Goku disappears or he beats Black Goku. Then we cut to another scene where Bulma is working on the time machine, and Pilaf actually just suddenly woke up and sees something going on in the laptop, and he decided, you know what, I'm gonna do a little bit of my own expertise in the laptop. So he does, and so Bulma stops with her welding and realized Pilaf is doing something with the laptop, and told Pilaf, hey, get the fuck off, you're doing something wrong here. And suddenly she realizes that, hey, you're actually did something right. Right? So that was a great scene. And so we cut back to Trunks again, and Trunks sees something falling from the sky, and lo and behold, it's Beerus and Goku and Whis. But we actually see Beerus and Goku on the ground, and Whis is standing up, and Whis tells both of them that both of you were bothering me, so he miscalculated his speed for a landing. But Beerus was like, I knew you were doing it. And so we move on to the scene at Capsule Corp where they're eating breakfast, and Whis is telling Trunks some information about who Black Goku is, and they think it's actually not Zamasu, or they cannot confirm 100% that it's Zamasu. It's similar. Not only that, his ki is evil, but it still doesn't match up with Zamasu's ki. And as usual, Goku repeated himself, telling Trunks that maybe it's not actually Zamasu because he doesn't seem evil. And so after the breakfast, Whis and Beerus goes back to their planet, and we cut to Gowasu and Zamasu, and they're looking at the planet Barbari, or short for Barbarian. And Zamasu realized, hey, why do we keep making these, why do we not get rid of these mortals? And Gowasu tells him it's the God of Destruction job for them to do that, not us. And so Gowasu goes into the temple or whatever inside, and he shows him the time ring, where it is located. And so Gowasu tells Zamasu that, you know what, let's head to 1,000 years to the future and see how the planet Barbari does. And so they move to the future 1,000 years, and the planet Barbari start developing culture, but they still had their barbaric ways and still beating each other up, and so not much of a difference. And so we cut back to the scene where Vegeta trains Trunks, and the best part of this is Trunks tells Vegeta, hey, turn to Super Saiyan 3. And so Vegeta starts laughing, ha 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 ha, and he just suddenly turns to Super Saiyan Blue, and Trunks realizes, oh, so maybe that's how Goku fought Beerus, the God of Destruction. And so they fought and fought, but Trunks loses, and he thinks to himself, hey, if Goku and Vegeta goes to the future and fight Black Goku, I don't need to train, and I don't need to be Black Goku. They can just beat Goku themselves. And he smiles, but Vegeta interjects, grabs him, and pick him up, and tells him, hey, you're not a true Saiyan. You're not a true Saiyan. You don't back down from your enemy. So Trunks realizes that, and he starts getting emotional. And so we could go to the next scene, to actually the Beerus' planet, and Wiz is making some stir fry, and he gets a call, and lo and behold, it's actually Zeno, the Omni King, and he tells both of them, "I want to see Goku," and they were shocked and surprised. So my take on episode 54 is actually just it's an alright episode. Not much happens. I think the most thing that probably happened, or the most exciting thing that happened, was Vegeta transforming into Super Saiyan Blue, and we see that again. Not only that, we see the how the time ring works. That's about it. But in terms of development, story mode, I mean, it's alright. I think we're just moving forward. This is one of those breaks where, later on, it's a suspense mode, I guess. We're in a stage of suspense where we're just learning who Zamasu is, get trained, so preparing for the big episode where all the action package will happen. And so this episode, I mean, if you see this episode, you see what I mean. So if you're one of those type who wants to see the episode, go ahead. But if you didn't see it, you're not really missing much. So in terms of, just rating from 1 to 5, I give this episode 3. Skippable. I don't think it matters in the whole scheme of Dragon Ball Super or this saga. But anyways, this is Mr. Informal with his take on Dragon Ball Super episode 54. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.